I'm Rachel, the Messy Minimalist. Welcome to my channel. For anybody who is unfamiliar with my channel, I'm trying to normalize what it's like to be a person in a space with stuff. Because I think that too often we compare ourselves with magazines and Pinterest and Instagram and really anything on social media, trying to live out this idea of what it means to maintain a space. And typically that idea is having this like pristine space that's not oftentimes the reality for us. Today I want to talk to you guys about one very specific item that I do not have in my house that most people do have. And it's a television. I actually went without cable TV about 7 years ago. We just stopped doing cable because we couldn't afford it. And that ended up spiraling into just a lifestyle for us. We just never picked it back up. We got very used to not having it, and it saved us a ton of money over the years. I actually did the math and it's like around $4,000. $4,000. That's insane. Your number could be higher or maybe a little bit lower, but that's a lot of money. We're gonna go 7 more years. That's $8,000. It's a ton of money. That's like a car. That's a down payment on a house, depending on where you live. Anyway, there's a lot of money to be saved just by not having that one extra expense. We do still pay for internet. That is still an expense, but overall it's been a pretty substantial amount of money. In addition to not having cable TV, we now no longer have a physical television in our house. We didn't choose to get rid of the television until about 6 months ago. It's actually kind of funny. We even upgraded our television a couple of years ago, and I don't know why, because we don't have anything to hook it up to. Why do you have a TV if you don't have cable? What's the point? We thought that we were gonna play video games on it or hook up Netflix to it or YouTube or anything. I think we thought we were gonna use it because that's what people do. They have televisions in their home. We put a television in our living room and we set our sofa around it and we had everything facing it because that's what you do. Not having cable was one thing, but not ever watching anything on our TV was another, and we finally just decided 6 months ago that we don't need it. What are we doing with this thing just taking up all this real estate in our house? And everything's centered around it, but for what? The most action that our television got was me coming up with it and just going whoop and wiping the dust off. In fact, I think there's even some footage in one of my older videos of just that very thing. The television, it got no use. We finally said, all right, see ya. And it's been great. And I think that our space, because it is kind of an unconventional layout, it's been difficult to set up our living room anyway, but as you may have noticed, we just now opened up our living room with our sofa against the wall, and it just opens up to the rest of the house, and that's it. There's nothing that it faces. It just faces the home, because we, at least right now in our lives, use it as like a big open play space. Every day, that's where our baby plays. Our daughter, who just turned 4, is always dragging stuff out of her room, and then it goes back to where it belongs. That's it. We don't watch TV. We've never really taken the time to watch TV, and now let me just tell you the types of stuff that we do instead of watching television. We have more conversations with each other. We are more present with each other. We're a lot more focused on each other. There's no background noise, no background distraction. You know, we are basically our own worst distraction. A lot of people talk about just having the television on, and it's not to say that that's bad to have your television on. It's definitely taking a little bit of our brain to even listen to it. You know, even if you think you're not listening to it, chances are you're picking something up. We have all kinds of other distractions that are constantly flooding into our lives, such as our cell phones, children, just whatever other family dynamics we have going on. Not having that one little extra bit of noise in the background, it lets our brains breathe. We can just have a moment where we don't have to constantly be hearing something in the background. Having silence is one of those rare things that I look forward to. And in fact, it's so quiet right now, I feel like we could just have a moment of silence. Nope, I can hear my daughter taking a bath. But aside from the sound of her taking a bath and the sound of my fish tank gurgling, and earlier the sounds of my cat sneezing, you know, it's kind of quiet. So that's it. That's the one thing that we do not have in our house, that we have no regrets not having, and it's our television. So I would love to hear from you all. Do you have a TV in your house? How many do you have? Have you tried going without it? How did it go? And what are your reasons for having it or not having it? any of that stuff, I would love to hear. Toss it in the comments. Also, as usual, if you are new to my channel and not a subscriber, but you made it to the end of the video, please do subscribe, and you can catch my videos every week or every other week, depending on how on top of things I am. Thanks again, and I will talk to you next time. So yeah, that's our space. No TV. It's great. So let me tell you guys about some of the things that we do instead of having a television. Crazy. There's always someone interrupting me, and in this case, it's my cat sneezing. It was... Oh my God, crazy, seriously. Go on, do it again. There you go. Get it all out. You got one more in you? So yeah. So... you have sneezed a lot of times, miss. I have no idea what I was saying. A symptom of my current state of mind. Motherhood.